Alright, what's up, my boy? Mamba mentality 24, not 8. We are in week 24, almost at the halfway point of the year. And again, this is the longest I've kept up with anything. That ain't true, because in 2012, I was on the grind working out and got like crazy in shape. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Merriam-Webster's word of the day is jeopardy. And that means to put someone or something in danger. So, as I always say, do with that information what you will. Trying to see how to. I know I always start off with the working out. Well, I'll start with this. First of all, I know it's nighttime driving. It is still Wednesday. It's all a little bit before 11, so I don't plan on talking for over an hour. So we will get this done on Wednesday, and again, working on sticking to that instead of procrastinating. But yeah, so just past it's not the neighborhood I grew up in, but I'm on the west side of town, headed to the airport. Want to go, to the overlooking lookout, whatever they call it, and watch the planes or whatever. Just, get my mind right, and we'll get into everything. But just needed a minute away. Tomorrow is the 19th, Juneteenth, and my job observes it, so I got to get up early in the morning. So, I know last week I was talking about the OZEMPIC check-in type situation, right? Smooth. So, already had, did what I said, spinning, working out, watermelon, like, I stuck to it. So, about 9.5, almost 10 pounds lost, again, in 2 weeks, but as far as they were concerned, in a month. So, I go in there feeling good about myself, and then, who are you? Say who I am. All right, we'll check you in. Boom, come back here, get on the in body. Gladly hop on there, empty my pockets and everything, make sure that I dress light for the occasion, and hop on the in body. Like I said, 9.5, almost 10 pounds, and the staff blown away. Like, oh my God, you did all that in a month? Like, in my head, I'm like, no, I did it in 2 weeks. But yeah, I did it in a month. We'll go with that. And so you're doing great. Whatever. What did you do? Change my eating habits. Stop eating so much processed food. Not necessarily raw, but drastically increase my fruit intake. Focused on more raw, real food. And, again, stop the processed foods and eating so much sugar. And like I always say, I think people don't realize how dehydrated we are, and you mistake that for hunger, so you eat. So they're like, wow, you did really great. I'm like, yeah, I appreciate it. We'll go back here. As impressed as they are, these people still like, yeah, so what you think about Ozempic? What? So you're impressed by what I did, but you still feel like, okay, I get it. This y'all job. Y'all supposed to push O rather, and push Ozempic, but nah, we good on that. Okay, well, you're doing great, so you may not need the medication, if you stick to what you're doing, but how do you feel about, what did they say? Not the Ozempic little sister, but it was, am I supposed to go that way? I ain't sure. No, it's a little further away than that. Okay, I got it. Not the Ozempic, but some health coaching. And that's like $200. I'm like, again, you just pointed out that I did great on my own in 30 days. Clearly, I got a formula for success here. Yeah, but just for motivation, nah, that's okay. I'm not giving $200 to quote unquote motivate me. Get out of here. So I was like really blown away for a second. But I'm like, you're being dumb. It didn't matter if you came here and lost 30 pounds. Their job is to sell the medication or the coaching. So if you came in and lost a pound per day, these people still were trying to push Ozempic on you. And they say you only needed to lose 30 pounds. So anyway, after that, definitely, like, I let this last week be a break. So I was like, you know what? You earned it. Didn't go ridiculous or whatever. During that time, I only put on, like, actually, I just finished my insomnia cookie. With the ice cream, it was delicious. I don't care. I earned it. But in that time, I only gained back like 3 pounds of the $9, $10 had lost. So, not mad at that. Had sweets, had, food, had the kids over, ate fries. So I ate. I didn't like, it wasn't like, oh, let's see if I can undo it. But it was like, no, you know, you did good. You can enjoy a little bit. So I did. And, you know, again, still satisfied with where we are. Got a really good workout in today. So no workouts. I didn't work out at all last week. I gave myself the week off. But I did work out today because Wednesday started a new week or whatever. So I worked out today. And I went really hard, like on the Peloton. I worked out at work or whatever. Killed it on the Peloton. Went hard, good upper body circuit. And I feel good. I'm going to, you know, stay consistent. So, like I say, you know, that was something that let me know too. Like, nah, I got it back together because typically after taking the break, you know, it's easy to make an excuse for, we can extend it another day. I start tomorrow, so I didn't do that. It was like, nah, I got the time. I'm chilling at work. Let's go ahead and go downstairs and knock this out. Boom, put an hour and a half in. Good work, good money. So I'm on it. Already looking forward to, you know, whatever I'm going to do tomorrow. So we're in a good place as far as working out goes. Like I said, no workouts to report from last week, just the one from today. Is this what I turned at? Because I have not a cut. Ooh, no, this ain't it. This close. Maybe it's a little further up. I don't know. I'm going to find it. See if I can ask your brother. Excuse me. How I get to where you watch the planes take off? How do I get to where you watch the planes take off? The little overlook.
Oh.
This way.
Go right here.
Uh-huh.
Turn on that road, that first road you're gonna come to. Turn on the road, go all the way down, and this is
a sign.
Parking there where you can see.
Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so like I said, staying consistent already, you know, ready to work out tomorrow. So I did my workout and I did the spin. So no ruck, but of course I only gotta get 2 of those in a week. So definitely plan on getting one tomorrow. Again, Juneteenth, so I'm not going to the office. I do have weights at home, so we'll see. So that was that. Like I say, it felt great. So that's working out. He said Dixon. Is this Dixon? No, this ain't construction. Ooh, this is Dixie Road. Okay, Dixie River Road. I think that's what he talking about. We're gonna see. But yeah, like I said, working out went well. Anything with the kids? Nothing comes to mind. Nothing spectacular with the kids. Man, I had a big fumble this weekend. Like, if I ain't fumbled the way I fumbled out, not sitting pretty, but we'd be in a much different I ain't gonna say much. It'd be pretty different circumstances and a little more breathing room. But you know, everything happened for a reason. Long, little shake back, we'll get right. So anyway, oh yeah, Sunday was Father's Day, so that was cool. When my pops wasn't in the best of moods because my aunt passed last week, his sister, and from what I understand, she's the first sibling he lost. You know, he done lost both his parents. He was like, I don't know. He was just like, he didn't think she'd be the first one to go, and it really hit him hard. So he's like, you know, I appreciate everything y'all doing, but I didn't expect nothing. Like, my mind wasn't even on Father's Day. I kind of, not forgot, but wasn't thinking about it at all. Which, you know, like, man, understandable. You know, you lost your sister, and that's, you know, impacting you. So went over there, just hung out for a minute. Work has, well, you know, it is interesting. So of course I kept saying, and I'm not somebody that's I don't know what the word is, but a lot of stuff that I be saying to myself, not just saying to myself, because I was saying this out loud. I had just said it the day before, but yeah, the day before to my neighbor on Monday. But a lot of the things that I say, I look back. Now, a lot of stuff I say don't come true. But, I mean, I guess it's, you know, about 50-50. Not going to say 50. Maybe like 35, 65. But that 35 seemed like a lot. Some things that I say or anticipate or, you know, want to happen come to fruition. So, of course, I kind of alluded to, you know, in some of these past weeks or whatever, past videos, like, yeah, you know, I'm kind of sitting. They ain't got no work for me. And it's like, I don't foresee them continuing to pay me and they don't have any work. So I reached out last week to the recruiter and kind of let her know, like, hey, you know, if we can go ahead and start looking, because I ain't had no work in about a month, for real. And, you know, that don't feel like a good sign. So she was like, really? You know, they hadn't said nothing to me, whatever. I'm like, I'm just letting you know. It might be okay, and they might be working on some more work, but I learned from my last job, you know, if I smell smoke, look for fire. So I smell a lot of smoke. It's getting kind of hard to breathe, just let you know. And so sure as we were around yesterday, they had like a retirement celebration for some of the people that was on my team, and finish up the celebration and everything, you know. So a lot of the manager who I hadn't seen in I know over a month was there. The lady that hired me, and you know, spoke to her. Yeah, I'm here, you know, for work, whatever. Yep. So she pimped out smooth. They had a little celebration, signed everybody's cards and stuff. And I don't know if, like, I don't know. It's like I worked for Parker Rec, and I was there 10 years. So of course, like being there, a lot of the people that, you know, and I'd met a lot of faces. I'd been in the fold for a while. So I was like, oh, you know, people knew me. One, I grew up in the rec center, so some of them literally knew me from when I was a kid. And then I worked there 10 years. So, you know, a lot of the managers I worked for, names I dropped, people I worked with, you know, I just was known. Oh, E, we got you here today. Everything was smooth. Like I was known in that field or doing that job, you know, across the county. Smooth. The longest tenure job outside of that 10 years was being a drug counselor, and I was there almost 4 years. So again, it was cool, enjoyed. I hope this it was there. Like I said, about 4 years. So of course, you know, got kind of known there. Of course, the co-workers and other employees, you know, they were very familiar with me and some of the people that we worked with or whatever. But I don't know, like when we was at, it is called the Overlook. I don't know if that's what I said, but that's what I meant. When we were at their celebration, it was like the only people I know by name are the people that's on my team. I don't know these people, and I, you know, felt like an outcast, which I ain't gotta, you know. Oh, it's closed. Well, that's trash. I didn't know it had a time to close. So what am I supposed to do now? I mean, I'm gonna just kick it up here if they don't say nothing to me. I ain't trying to bother nobody. I don't watch the plane. You know what I mean? But so I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, I'm not a part of this fold. Again, have no issues being to myself, by myself, but seeing all the mix and mingle and, you know, with how many of the people that I have met there and spoke to, that, you know, I've been here 15 years, 20 years, 10 years, whatever. I'm gonna turn the lights off. There we go. 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, some of them over 30. And, you know, it's like, I've been here 2 months. Of course, you're not going to get there overnight. But even with that, like when I got there again, one, it wasn't a permanent role. So it had an end date for October, which is 4 months away. But it was like, I don't know, like, even if you're an introvert, if you've been somewhere for a while and you build those connections or whatever, then even if you're not talkative, like, you could just tell, you know what I'm saying? Like, this person's been here for a while. If they're dealing with someone that, you know, not the most talkative, there's still conversation. So it was like, yeah, I'm not in this fold or whatever. And, like, I knew that, but that they, like, kind of sealed it. And it was like, okay, so it's Tuesday. Finish up that celebration and everything, go back to my day. I went upstairs to enjoy the view. I don't remember which video it was. It was a couple weeks ago, but I recorded one there. And it's like just a really nice view of the city, both states. No. You probably can see the South Carolina. But see, that's why I came over here. The plane coming in the view now. And Drum used to like to come out here like sometimes to think or whatever. And so it's peaceful, man. But so go back to my desk. Day's almost over, like another hour and a half or so goes by. Get a call to the recruiter. She calls like, yeah, so I don't got good news. I'm like, again, okay, I know what this is. And she was like, yeah, so they cutting the project short. Okay. In my head, you know, like when I was laid off or whatever, it was like, boom, yep, so today your last day. you get that call, it's over now. And it was like, she was like, yeah, so your last day is gonna be next Friday. Which, I mean, essentially, although it was my last day physically that day, my last day physically was probably 2 weeks ago. You know, I ain't really had no work the last couple weeks or whatever. So, she was like, they're gonna pay you out your last pay day or whatever is gonna be next Friday. So, this Friday in 2 days is the last pay day, the last day of this pay period. So I get a check next Friday, and then I get a half a check for the week that I work next week or whatever. So yeah, you know, why I was saying it was because I kept speaking to people and saying like, you know, I know it's not time to take the leap of faith, but I'm looking forward to October. You know, when the time comes, some days while I was working, you know, and I get a call or a request for a job. Some of them jobs, I was like, man, I make more if I go do that than, you know, staying here for work. But, of course, work is guaranteed income. Another pain. Work is guaranteed income. Let's stay here with no will make. I mean, of course, we set the prices, but unless, you know, like they reset your budget on Monday with the business, so unless Monday I set up boom, 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 and 10 of them get set up, you know, for the week, and it's like 2 a day or something like that, then probably not gonna make what you make at work. I don't know. We're gonna see, because I'm gonna up it that following week after my last after next Friday, my last day. So when Monday comes, I'm gonna up my budget and see, you know, all in where we can go. And it's like it's interesting. It's like I'm not sad. I'm optimistic, but of course, like, okay, now when I got laid off, it was like, again, I've, you know, been able to pay bills. I'm pretty sure, you know, if I grind and get out here and drive and Lyft or whatever, Uber, then I can cover the bills. But you talking about putting in, again, I'm thinking, what, 2.5, 3 months. I had put out, almost every month I put almost 10,000 miles on my car. At least 7, I'm gonna say 7, at least 7 or 8. Like, I was driving this mug into the ground. It was like, yo, this not it. Like, I just got this car. So definitely didn't want to do that, but, you know, I gotta pay the bills. And all the bills are, no bills are behind, everything's caught up. We're doing fine there. And so it's like, versus just banking on that and running my car into the ground. Now I have, you know, this business that really kind of depends on what I put into it, what I set my budget at, how much I'm willing to grind, what I can make. Because again, some weeks, now I've never made, have I? I'm gonna tell no lie, I don't remember off the top of my head, but if I haven't made as much money as I make at work, you also have to keep in mind that I'm only available for evenings and weekends for the business, whereas 40 hours dedicated to me sitting at this desk and, you know, doing work, whatever. So it's like, now it's 168 hours in every week. I got, you know, another plane. I got time to really grind and go hard with this and see. And it's like, again, I still got Uber and Lyft. So I know what I need to make to be straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, from the business. Because I know what I need to make from Lyft. And Lyft does have consistent bonuses. Not as good as they used to be when I was doing it on a regular, like the weekend bonuses and the streak bonuses. But it's like, you get this extra money for sure, you do this many rides. It's guaranteed every week. So like, that part is cool or whatever. But it was just like, as much as I kept speaking on it and talking about that leap of faith, I wasn't ready to leap. But it's like, you know, somebody on a diving board, or like when you watch a bird, baby birds or whatever, standing there and like, nah, I got that push. Like, oh, you ain't ready to take the leap? Here go a push. You ain't got the October. Go out there and make it happen. So it's like, excited, optimistic. I don't even think like worried or nervous is the term. It's just uncertain. I say that, uncertain. You know, because again, this timeline wasn't, I think I looked, my first job was like the first week of March. So April, May, June. Been doing this 3 months. Like, a little over 3 months. And again, going well. But when I started, you know, I was just taking whatever. Like, some of the times, and this is another plane, some of the distances I drove to do the jobs, to, you know, just get the business and get the pictures for my portfolio, like, this bag ain't worth the gas. But getting experience, building my name up, building my reputation, I got pictures to show. And by the time we got to, I say 2 months in with the business. Yeah, so I started in March, started a job in April. So by the time we got to, especially like mid-May, end last month, it was like, yo, again, sometimes, man, hey, I don't know now. And so it's just, you know, if I had the nest egg and the cushion to the side that I'd like to have, it would be more comfortable. And that was the only thing, like, with a job, you know. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm still applying, which I've been applying anyway, because I saw, again, I'm starting to be able to identify smoke and fire. Smoke before fire. So, you know, started brushing my resume, started learning some stuff with Excel, reached out to people networking, and, you know, putting in my bid to boost my resume some more, gain some more skills, make myself more marketable. So, you know, some stuff gonna come. I'm still open to working, but if, you know, whether this push is what pushes me into, I started a business because I got laid off, and then I started going hard with it, and it just, you know, worked out because I wouldn't give up. I just wouldn't quit, you know, neighborhood nip. I ain't give up. I kept going. You know, despite the adversity and despite the uncertainty. And here we are 2, 3, 4, 5 years later. I haven't had a job because I haven't needed a job, but I've been able to, you know, this has been able to sustain and thrive. Whether it's that or whether, you know, like I say, the same thing I was planning in October is a little taste of it. You know, let's say it's out July's next week. So let's say I get this taste right here. Yeah, this alright, you know, learn some things that I need to adjust, change, and adapt. And then I get a job in July, August, September, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And cool, all right, now the business is this. All right, so I know whether it's a contract, another contract, permanent role, whatever. Again, pay the bills, stack up, get the, you know, nest egg where you want it to, Lyft, Uber, everything that you can. And then, you know, when the time comes, whether it be contract, whether it be this permanent role ends, or whether it be, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, and it is a permanent role, and, you know, I'm like, all right, now I'm ready to take that leap of faith. Now I'm getting 3-4 jobs a day, you know, a request, or I done messed around and got 2 or 3 corporate accounts with like hotels or, you know, high dollar apartments or schools or something like that, and I'm their guy to handle XYZ, and they gonna pay. Hey, you know, I don't know, we're gonna see, but like I said, I'm not in the same place. I don't feel, it's like then it was confused too, but then was worried, like with the layoff. It was worried too. And just move here, you know, I'm getting by, paying the bills, with work, and we're doing Lyft and stuff like that. But it was just like something going on at every turn. Again, everything's balanced out. Knock on wood, everything's balanced out. All bills are good. I'm not trying to put out a bunch of little fires, you know what I mean? So it's like nervousness, excited nervousness. Like, man, okay, you know, this wasn't what I planned, but I'm ready. Versus, I don't know. Like I said, it's I'm ready versus I'm worried. I'm not worried at all because, again, I have Lyft, I have Uber, I can go get a job. Like, not worried. Like I said, excited nervousness. Like, all right, you know, October came a little early. Happy birthday to me. Like, we're gonna have to get it now in July versus, you know, 3 more months in October. So let's do everything we can and stack everything we can between now and then, and keep stacking because the bills for July are covered. We're good. Just with the 2 checks that'll be coming, all bills covered. Can put up a little bit more, you know. And man, like, you know, it's funny, even before this happened, I just kept running to people like, man, you're gonna be blessed. Blessings coming your way, you know. And I don't know what that's gonna be in the form of, or, you know, that's the thing, we always look for big blessings or big thing. Again, the business might be the blessing that, you know, I already got the blessing, I just didn't know it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I got off track. Speaking of business, so, and it's been busy, like, that's the thing. So last Thursday, set it up. I put up the TV that I spoke about last week for the client. Again, nervous, but I found the studs. I made sure I got on the studs. Same thing that Uncle Phil and my bro told me. When you put the mount up, hang on it. If it'll hold you, it'll hold that TV. I'm 200 plus. I'm 2 something, so I can do something. That TV was like 40 inches. Ain't no 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
It had to be a big back TV to even be that, and that's probably like dang near old school to be 200 pounds. So put it up there, felt confident in it. The client was beyond satisfied. And I'm like, yo, I'm excited. Like, bro, I'm doing this. I hung up a TV. Now I will say the TV I hung up is still in the wall, but again, you know, learning I wasn't on the stud, but I used what do you call them things? I can't even think of them, but they're like in the wall. They're not brackets. They are. This is gonna tick me off because when I get home I'm gonna see them and then I'm gonna remember the name. But they hold in the wall or whatever. So I put those in and it was sticky, but I think I didn't screw it in tight enough to make it lock out or whatever. So like it's not gonna come down. It's good up there, but I don't like it. I'm gonna put it on the stud, the one in my bathroom that I put up with. Like I said, the mount's still there, nothing failed or whatever, and I even pulled it to see. Like I wouldn't hang on that, but I think it's good for the TV. It'll hold the TV. So I think that's a worker. But so put up his TV. Feel good about that. I did hang a mount in my garage because the TV that I had, another plane coming. It like blacked out. It wouldn't work when I plug it in. So, whatever. It was another free TV I seen on Marketplace, but it was Father's Day, and I was like, all right, I couldn't get it. You know, I stayed at my pop's house too long. Hung with my brother. Shouldn't have. The older of my two younger brothers on my pop's side, and we done together sometimes. So, just stayed gone longer than planned or expected. Then the older of my two brothers that I'm raising, I had to pick him up. So, but yeah, put that TV up, and then I had a gas grill to put together for a previous client too that I got off Angie's List or whatever. Went over there, put the grill together. Now I knew it said it was gonna storm, and storm it did. So I get up here because they live like in another city, like 40 minutes away by the lake or whatever. Get there, get everything laid out. When I get there, you still got a little bit of sunlight, but it's like 7 something, so it's starting to go down for sure. And I can see these rain clouds. This rain is gonna come. So I get to work and doing my thing. And the husband, the last time I was there, he pulled up and he was there for like a second because he has a tree service business. So he's like, hey man, because they have a carport. So I was like, knock it out under the carport. A little bit of rain get under there, I can work with that. Like, I get this done. Take pride in my business. So I'm under there working before the rain come, and he comes out and he like, hey yo E, I'm like, what's up? He like, man, if you want, I got a golf cart or whatever, we can load this stuff up and put you in the garage. I'll move the golf cart to the carport and you can work in the garage so you ain't out here in this weather. I'm like, I ain't gonna turn on over my collar. That work for me. So we swap it out, get in there, beat the rain or whatever. Like, it just started drizzling when we got like 1 or 2 more trips. And it's like maybe 25 feet walk to the garage. So like nothing, like before it got ugly, we beat that. Get in there, cool, get to working. He rapped with me a little bit, go in the house because he just came from, doing his street thing or whatever. So he go to take him a shower, come out, rap a little bit, talking to me and tell me some of his life story. He asked me some of my stuff, so I tell him, some of my information. We, rap and exchange info a little bit. That man got a story. Like, you need to write a book or something because he had a crazy story. But that's not my story to tell here. And he was just rapping with me, and like, you could see the admiration. He was like, man, I really, respect your hustle and your grind. I've been where you are as far as with his business. I think he said he has like 10 employees now. And he was like, if I could, I would give all this up and start over and be where you are, because these are the fun times. Like, these are the good days. And I'm like, looking around at his house and this nice big garage, and you up here on the lake, and you say you've been doing this 20 plus years, and if I could fast forward to 20 plus years and be where you at, man, no. But I mean, I respect it and get what he's saying, and I do still anticipate though getting away yet where I can, be more focused on 1 or 2 things, or have some employees and I ain't always got to be, turning the screwdriver or drilling a drill or a wrench or whatever the case is myself, and I'm making money, off somebody else's labor. So that was cool, man. Knocked that out. So both of those were Thursday after work. Knocked those out. Nothing Friday. I don't think anything Saturday. Again, Sunday was Father's Day, so nothing Sunday. And then Monday comes, boom. Monday comes, and today is Wednesday. What did I do Monday? Oh, yeah, I saw a high school classmate, because his people live by me. So we wrapped last I had seen him. I had just got laid off. I hadn't started a business yet, you know, so much different circumstances. He's like, man, how's that going? I'm like, you know, I'm working or whatever, and started a business, handling one of my cars and telling him what I'm doing. And he tell me that another guy that I went to middle school and we went to high school with, he typically his big thing is mounting TVs, and he showed me some of his stuff, like I think his Instagram page, and he like was putting up TVs for like Walmarts and Best Buys and stuff, like mounting them. I'm like, hey, yo, love to see. I ain't seen the dude in almost 20 years, but I was like, man, that I'm happy to see that. And I'm trying to get to where he at, like no funny stuff, legit. He doing it with the big companies. I'm trying to lock it down like that. That's what's up. And so we rap or whatever, and I'm like, you know anybody? He told me he had just bought a townhome. So I'm like, yeah, man, if got stuff, and if you're not good at putting it together, that's kind of what I do. So here go my card. Next day come, he's like, yo, my people, the racks in the closet fell. You think you could put it together? I'm like, yeah, give me a minute. Let me check my schedule, which is code for it. Let me look this up on YouTube and see if I can do it. Look it up, find the studs. Same thing as the TVs. I'm like, yeah, man, I got you. So I go over there, and I will say the mistake I made was I was just like, I'm going to use the stuff in there. If the closet racks fail, more than likely it fell because of the brackets, which means that they done, put up as much of a fight as they could. They've probably been in there for years, and they're just too weak, and got brittle and broke. But I'm not thinking, again, I haven't done this before, and I'm thinking, I can work it out just putting it back up there and drilling into the studs. So I go like maybe 2 or 3 inches lower than where the original rack was, and trying to put it that way. And again, you can tell some of these broke. Better slow down. Yeah, you gonna wreck. Some of these are broke, and some of them, like, you just need a new set. So I run to Home Depot, grab some stuff to try to reinforce it, and I get it up there, but I'm like, I see how much clothes she has on the floor, and I'm like, yeah, no, this I don't trust it. So I let her know, like, hey, I'm telling you now, like, I think that, like, shoulder, the brackets, they were broke. I did what I could with them, but I ain't guaranteeing it. I'll come back and fix it if it falls, but so I tell her that, I tell him that. He messaged me, he like, yeah, man, like, she's saying that it's like shaky, and I'm like, yeah, I think that it would be best to replace it. I tried to work it out with what was there, and that wasn't the best way to go about it, honest. So he's like, all right, no issue. So I was like, yeah, I'll look it up, see if I can find something to reinforce it. Before I do that, I'm like, wait, let me see how much I go look at my closet, because my closet is solid. Whoever put them up did a great job. And they might have been there less time than, the ones in their closet. So I look it up, and I'm like, okay, look up the set. Man, the money that I spent that day trying to reinforce crap, I could have bought a new set, and it probably would have took less time. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, yeah, bro, I could do it for sure. It actually would have been cheaper to just get another set. And so I messaged him today and let him know that I can do it Friday or this weekend. And I haven't heard back from him. I know he'll be working, so I don't know. We'll see if he say what they say and what works for them. So that was that. And then yesterday, my cousin ordered a dresser, and I put that together. I have a bed to put together tomorrow, Sunday. I have a bed to disassemble, transport, and reassemble. I already got a job planned for next Tuesday, and I believe I got to go to South Carolina for a job next Thursday. And again, all this was planning around, me working. So that's, about what, 3 to 4 or 5 jobs a week with me planning around working. There's no work to consider after next Friday. It's all in. So I'm like, again, realistically, if I can get, I think between not being, it depends on how big of a job they are or how long it takes, if I'm charging hourly or per item and how many items. But on the low end, I'm gonna say 7 or more. I think if I can get 7 or more things, then that we could be straight. And I might depending on how big the job is, I might have to throw a little bit of lift up in there or whatever. But yeah, man, that's a job a day, 7 days in a week, And I could double up, you know what I mean? Like if I could, boom, okay, I can get to your house at 10. Hey, I'll be your way no later than 3 o'clock. or 2, you know, depending on what it is, I'll be over by 3. Man, we got this. So again, nervously excited about putting it to the test, you know. So we're gonna see, man. But that's it. The biggest update, like I say, you know, the contract ended earlier than expected, and hey, it's time to put our boots on the ground and see where them fans at. But you know, pull myself up playing, pull myself up by my bootstraps and go all in. This is what I wanted, and opportunity presented itself, and I'm gonna get everything I got, man. Take care of me and these cheering. So, which, you know, that's kind of cool too, because, you know, they be asking to do jobs with me, and so picking up more of them, and it's the summertime. We can get all the stuff situated. I still got to get my 2 boys to a camp. Both of my brothers are talking about getting jobs, so if not this week, then definitely the week after, or next week, the week after. Again, I ain't got no job, so hey, yeah, we can run to a couple different places. Let's go get y'all a job. You know what I mean? There's a fast food restaurants, grocery stores, Goodwill, Walmart. There's a bunch of places around, like not even 2 miles away. So walking distance or biking distance, or if they, you know, I can see them being bougie. Oh, I'm gonna catch a lift to work. Can you come get? I mean, they'll probably get me to try to. Depending on what's going on. Hey, you might have to thug it out. I catch a bike. It's summertime. You ain't gotta worry too much about rain, but I don't know, man. We gonna see. So I definitely been rambling and yapping a little longer than expected, but yeah, man, that's what I was saying. So we definitely gotta lock in with the MAMBA mentality and all in, man. We in Kobe mode, week 24. So getting ready for the grind, man. Getting ready for the hustle and enjoying the ride and trying to expand this. Ain't no trying and expanding this thing. We speaking it into existence and expanding this thing and making more money than I expected, man. It's gonna be a good ride. I get one of them gazebos, bro. If I get one of those gazebos, then I'm in the game. Like I said, I got the TVs now, so I can start getting those jobs where it's like, hey, I got a dresser, 2 nightstands, a bed, a dinette set, and I need 2 TVs put up. Now that might be an all day thing, but the money I make doing that, oh yeah, man, that'll be dang near what I make in a week. Cause you coming out of pocket for all that, you know what I'm saying? So again, man, nervously excited and optimistic about what's to come. But yeah, that's what I was saying. I can get one of them gazebos. Mess around and get 2 gazebos in a week, man, with what I'm charging. That'll be what I was making from work, you know what I mean? So we're gonna be straight, man. But that's it, my boy. Week 24 in the books. Another plane coming in. So I mean, next week, you know, we'll be talking about closing out work, how the other jobs went. But week 26, which I don't know nobody athletic number, 26 or whatever. 25 would be, you know, live and just talking about preparation. Cause, you know, next week I'll go ahead and start trying to, you know, get something for that following week or whatever. But week 26 and 27 more so, cause that'd be the first full week where I done been all in with it. But yeah, man, I'm gonna sit back, watch these planes a little bit, put my mind at ease, and get ready to go home. Happy Juneteenth. And remember, everything we're working on is overnights, plural with an S, not overnight. I love you, my boy. Be kind to yourself. I'll rap with you next week.